Hello, my lovelies. I'm Kris Rainwaters, your favorite real estate witch. And tonight I want to share a story with you. Winter is a season of shadows, bold spirits, and quiet magic. And sometimes the best way to understand a space, a season, or even ourselves is through a tale that remembers what we've forgotten. So settle in, light a candle if you have one, and let yourself slip into the oldest part of winter. This story is called The Child Who Lit the Winter Dance. Once upon a clear winter's night, long after the village had forgotten how to dream, there was a child who still loved the old stories of winter spirits. While the grown-ups lit fires out of habit and need, she lit her lantern out of curiosity. She wanted to see if the tales were true, if the dark really held secrets, and if the wild ones still danced when the world grew cold. Her grandmother always used to tell her, on the second Saturday of December, when the wind begins to sing, listen past the world you know, you'll hear the hunt's bells ring. So, when that night came and the air turned sharp and still, the child heard them, faint, distant, but certain, their trill echoing through the trees. She followed the sound into the deep woods, her little lantern flame flickering against the all-consuming darkness. And there she saw them, the wild hunt, riding between the trees like a storm made of breath and bone. Krampus led the charge, his horns catching moonlight, his chains rattling like thunder through the stillness. Behind him came Perchta, her cloak made of snow and shadow, and the ghostly merry Lwyd singing through her hollow grin. The child trembled, but she didn't run. Krampus turned his gaze toward her, and his voice was the sound of breaking ice. Child, we come to test the hearts of the living, to remind them that deeds have weight and that light must be earned. But your village has forgotten. Before the girl could speak, another presence stepped forward, an old woman with a broom and a bag full of gifts. Her eyes sparkled with warmth that didn't melt the cold. And then, once they'd faced their shadows, Befana said, we come to bless what remains. We come for those who still believe that every shadow holds a spark of light. We come to dance with those who know that winter is a doorway, not an end. But your village has turned its back on our blessings. The girl looked from one to the other, the fearsome and the kind, and saw that they were not opposites, but halves of the same truth. I understand, but what can I do? She said. I'm just a little girl who still believes in fairy tales. Perchta stepped forward, snow curling at her feet though the forest floor lay still. From her cloak, she took a small silver bell, etched with symbols older than stories. She placed it in the child's hands. Wake them, she said. If your people call, the hunt will find its way. So the girl ran. She ran faster than the cold itself, back through the trees, lantern swinging, heart pounding like a drum. When she reached the village, she rang the bell. It chimed once, clear and bright, and every window flickered. It chimed twice, sharp as truth, and doors flew open. It chimed a third time, deep and wild, and the people stepped into the night with lanterns in their hands. The girl told them everything, and when she finished, the village lifted their horns, their drums, their voices calling into the dark like they once had long ago, and the wild ones heard. The bells answered, the woods stirred, the hunt came thundering out of the shadows. Krampus, Perchta, merry Lwyd, and all the winter spirits riding in their wake. They swept through the village, leaving the gifts only winter spirits can give. Wisdom, morality, resilience, strength. And from that night on, the hunt did not pass their valley by. It came because the people had finally remembered how to call it home. The end. And maybe that's the true magic of winter, that even in the darkest part of the year, the light returns to the ones brave enough to call it back. If this story stirred a little something in you, that's because these spirits still walk with us today, in our traditions, in our festivals, and the ways we gather together in the cold to remember who we are. And every second Saturday of December, right here in Southern California, we honor that old magic with the Dark Xmas Market and the Wild Hunt of Vista. This year, it just so happens to fall on December 13th, a day sacred to the divine feminine, and the perfect time, if you ask this witch, to celebrate the darker spirits of winter. Come join us. Dress in shadow or light. Ring your bells, carry your lantern, walk with the wild ones, and help call the hunt home again.